Ladies and gentlemen, I am SidAlpha. There will be no in-game footage in this video excepting this demo footage being played now, which is of the game Z, spelled Z-I, by Gennady Guryanov, and once we get a little bit further along, I'm sure you'll understand why. And I would like to extend a personal thanks to Mellow Online for compiling this information in such a concise method. It was extremely helpful, and the investigative capabilities of both Mellow Online and the other members of the Steam group Guardians of Greenlight continue to both impress and amaze. Now, before we get started on the current situation, please allow me a few moments to explain what happened to this game Z, spelled with an I, and why you can no longer purchase it on the Steam storefront. According to an announcement made by Valve on the 12th of April of this year, so not even 2 months ago, the developers of Z, spelled with an I, Gennady Guryanov, was caught making use of multiple accounts to post fake reviews of his own title, which is a clear violation of Valve's terms of service. In that statement, Valve had the following to say: "We, Valve, have identified unacceptable behavior involving multiple Steam accounts controlled by the developer of this game. The developer appears to have used multiple Steam accounts to post positive reviews for their own games. This is a clear violation of our review policy and something we take very seriously. For these reasons, we are ending our business relationship with Guryanov Gennady Alexeyevich and removing his games from sale. If you have previously purchased this game, it will remain accessible in your Steam library." Now, this is very common for Valve to do, as such fake reviews are outright fraud and are deliberately misleading the consumer and misrepresenting the game in question. It is a purely abhorrent practice, and one that I, for one, am most gratified to see Valve still continuing to take a firm stance on. And just to confirm beyond a shadow of a doubt, this is the Steam DB information listing for the game Z, spelled with an I, that does indeed very clearly list the developer as being one Gennady Guryanov and is the developer in question that was banned from Steam. Now, this is the Steam storefront page for Secret Doctrine, a $50 third-person puzzle game developed by Lema 14 Kulon and published by Elena Shukina. It appeared quite surreptitiously onto the Steam storefront on May the 14th of this year and has since received a single review, which is, of course, in Russian. And my apologies, but given YouTube's current ad revenue rates, I could not afford to purchase this $50 little boondoggle in order to provide you with any in-game footage. And also, for those of you that haven't figured out why I suddenly started talking about this game, it is because it is very much created by that same developer, Gennady Guryanov, who has weaseled his way into getting a game onto the Steam storefront under an alias. This was quite readily available on the game's website, which is, of course, easily accessible from the Steam storefront page for the game. Now, here is a Google translated version of the website, and in case Mr. Gennady Guryanov decides to change the information listed there, Mellow Online has created an archive.is of the website's About page, as I'm sure Mr. Gennady Guryanov will want to cover his tracks here fairly soon, and a link for that will be in the description below. And as you can see, Mr. Gennady Guryanov has helpfully listed himself as Lema 14 Kulan on the website for the game twice, which means Mr. Guryanov has deliberately circumvented Valve's ban on him and his products for posting fake reviews. And while that would be bad enough, it most certainly doesn't end there. Several Steam users were asking questions of the developers concerning the Russian price for the Secret Doctrine is 899 rubles, which at current market prices translates to $15.87 US, while the US price for the game is a staggering $50. Multiple Steam users who brought this up have been threatened with legal action by Elena Shukina directly. One Steam user commented, "I just had a strange feeling about the game, not only the pricing but the very quiet way it appeared, almost like they don't want too much attention. Now I'm beginning to understand why." To which Elena Shukina responded with, "Stop writing any rubbish, otherwise I will sue your account." Also, another Steam user who goes by Dubisor received a ban from the developer, citing that he was, quote, "inciting ethnic hatred," which of course is pure insanity. To show you what I mean, here is a snip of the ban in which Dubisor stated, "Personally, I wouldn't even buy this for $15, but other people might. Funnily enough, that's the price for Russians. Asking $50 is just ridiculous." Well, their sales show. In 3 weeks, they've sold less than 10 copies. And of course, the ban reason stated is inciting ethnic hatred. Your comment will be subject to legal proceedings. Wait for the summons to court. Now, this is all just absolutely revolting and repugnant behavior. What these developers are doing is fighting as hard as they can to silence anyone and everyone raising a stink over their game in the hopes that Valve will not notice what they're doing. And being these people are only commenters in the Steam discussion threads, they can of course ban them at will, delete their comments, and threaten them with whatever they choose to in order to attempt to silence them. And to be honest, I would absolutely love for these developers to attempt to sue the 2 users they've threatened already. This would of course very much require them to submit a subpoena to Valve in order to obtain these people's legal information, and we all know how well Valve has responded to such actions in the past. I've also sent Mr. Guryanov an email asking for a statement in regards to these actions, although to be fair, it's probably in the middle of the night there, so I really didn't expect to receive a response. In that email, I stated the following. Greetings, please allow me to introduce myself. I am a YouTuber whose content focuses on PC gaming news, reviews, first impressions, and industry analyses. Links to my channel and social medias are in my signature below. I am in the middle of recording a video discussing your ban from the Steam storefront by Valve for posting fraudulent reviews and the fact that you have created an alias user to post Secret Doctrine onto the Steam storefront in spite of the Valve's ban. I was wondering if you cared to comment or if you had any comment on Elena Shakina's banning of a Steam user fraudulently claiming ethnic hatred and threatening legal proceedings. Thanks for your time, and just so you are aware, the video and all pertinent information will be delivered to Steam moderators and other members of Valve's staff. Now, I would urge any conscientious viewers to report this game for its violation of Steam's terms of service, the bullying and harassment of Steam users by the game's developers, and the threats of spurious lawsuits in order to silence fair and open critique. I will of course post all pertinent links down in the description below. And I feel very strongly that developers like these are what makes the indie market so toxic and hostile when it really should be the exact opposite, and they should not be allowed to profit from their actions. And while you're at it, if you wish to follow my Steam curation group, support me on Patreon, or follow me on any social media, the links to all those are in the description down below, and please do like and share this video. The more this gets signal boosted to Valve, the better the chances that something is done about it. You may consider this blanket permission to make use of portions of this video or this video in its entirety in order to raise awareness about what these people are attempting to get away with. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I am SidAlpha, and I'll see you next time.